Yeah, that's why I let you torture me so that I can spend so many years hunting this down and get my mission done, remember? When comparing Man of Steel to this Superman, guys, in my Zack Snyderverse, by sheer collateral damage alone, if you look at this Superman, he's filled with hope. In the movie, he's constantly saving people, saving a squirrel, for God's sakes. Oh. Well, hi. Superman. This is directed by James Gunn. We all know him from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, among other controversies. This is starring David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. It is completely fine. Little bit, not gonna lie though. Might be some spoilers coming up ahead, so just know that, but I am gonna start with the positives of this movie. The one thing that I will add is that a lot of my friends were worried that this movie would be a little too political for their taste. Really wasn't any of that in this movie. I don't know why James Gunn went on a rant talking about that, but there really wasn't that much of it that I saw. The CGI was definitely a lot better than the trailer made it look. A lot of scenes were really colorful, really creative, especially with the Green Lantern. Was really cool. The Fortress of Solitude was probably my favorite one just because it really did look pretty cool. Crypto looked amazing. Granted, guys, I was raised on the actual TV show Crypto the Superdog, so I do have a soft spot. There's also a lot of really great characters in this movie along with Superman. That was Eddie Gathegi. He played Mr. Terrific, and I'm not gonna lie, he kind of sort of did steal the show. He was probably the best part of this movie. I never knew anything about this character, so now I'm kind of curious to go to the comic books and learn more about this character just because he was so cool in this movie. Feeling as the Green Lantern was great. He was hilarious. I have no complaints. I wanted more from him, but that goes into one of my negatives of this movie. Tyler Gisondo as Jimmy Olsen. Why are women just dying at his feet? The whole thing with women just dying at his feet was just absolutely hilarious. And he acted like such an idiot about it too, which we all know. It's like, you know what he's doing. Character, honestly. Great character, very small character, but I very much liked it. It was very cute. Very, very much appreciate the insertion of William Reeve in this movie. William Reeve, for many of you who don't know, is actually the son of the late Christopher Reeve, who played as the first Superman. If you don't know anything about Christopher Reeve's life, I actually do recommend you check out the documentary Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. It goes over pretty much everything that has to do with him and Superman and some unfortunate life events that took place. We're gonna go straight into the negatives, and believe me, I have a couple of things to say. Story things feel like they happen just to happen. It really does feel like and then we go to this, and then this happened, and then this happened. It was very much like the plot was moving, but it didn't feel like anything was important. I'm gonna say it right now, that DC, if you plan on going down the Marvel direction with the comedy, you're gonna lose me as a viewer, because I had enough of that in this movie. And then not only that, it actually brought down some of your characters. Some of the most emotional and dark scenes in this movie that you had with Lex Luthor. Guess what happened? Your stupid comedy ruined the tension, ruined it. Like, honestly, I was just sitting back relaxing because I knew that no one in this movie was ever in danger. And believe me, the entire theater was feeling it too, because a lot of those jokes did not land and the theater was just dead silent. Just letting you know, James Gunn. It really shows that he's safe with his Guardians of the Galaxy mantra, because there are so many characters in this movie. It did not feel like a Superman movie. Let's get to the relationship between Lois and Superman. What the hell, girl? Went from wanting to break up with Superman in the beginning of the movie to all of a sudden being like, you know what? I think I'll stick around long enough. You seem to be doing a good job. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't feel like she stayed with him because of love, more luck. Oh, you know, I like you having as a source. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt weird. You know, she was a great actress. It was just that was just very weird. There's almost no Clark Kent in this movie, so if you're looking for that side of the character, good luck. Another thing that pissed me off was that Superman wins no fights in this movie. At all. A lot of the fights, it was like he should easily win this, no questions asked. He's Superman, for God's sakes. The man can literally move solar systems. You've got to be kidding me. Another small thing that I'm gonna give this movie is the dialogue. The dialogue was absolutely trash. It was just exposition. It literally was. Yeah, that's why I let you torture me so that I can spend so many years hunting this down and get my mission done, remember? It was literally like that. The dialogue was terrible. That's one thing, I'm not gonna lie. The dialogue was pretty bad. However, not all of it. One thing that I will say is that this movie does have a lot of great things to it, and a lot of them revolve around Superman. When people start comparing Man of Steel to this Superman, I tried to keep my list as simple as possible, just letting y'all know I actually do like Man of Steel. I like a lot of the H.R. Geiger style that they had for the aliens. I like the darkness, the edginess of the movie. I'm gonna be frank here. When comparing Man of Steel to this Superman, guys, in my Zack Snyderverse, by sheer collateral damage alone, saying there was very little saving people in the Man of Steel. Just being frank. Another thing that I'm going to say I did not like in Man of Steel was that Clark Kent identifies more with the Kryptonians than he does with the humans. I thought that was the whole point of the comic books of Superman, was that he was an alien but he identified with the humans. He's human, you know, like that was just very weird, and I never liked that about Man of Steel. With this Superman, what do I get? I get hopefulness, trusting, almost to a fault. I loved, frankly. We need more of that in the superhero genre, honestly. Hope and happiness. And the one thing that will be my last thing that I say about this movie was one of the quotes that this movie made. Lewis and him, they were talking about rock and punk rock, and basically said to him, you're way too trusting and you think people are too beautiful. And then he said, maybe that's the real punk rock. And I'm not gonna lie, what a great quote that was. If you look at this Superman, he's filled with hope. In the movie, he's constantly saving people, saving a squirrel, for God's sakes. Image of hopefulness, of beauty in everyone. It's like one of those people that frustrates you because they're just good to a fault. And I love that about this Superman. And I really am glad that they took that Superman to this direction. The one thing I will say, the ending to this movie is quite beautiful. I'm not going to reveal it, but it is a beautiful ending, and I really like that final touch that they made. Overall, I am going to be giving this movie a 7 out of 10. Is it better than the Man of Steel movie? Oh, honey. Take it down to the comment section below. Leave a like and subscribe on your way there. Those are my thoughts, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I will see y'all for the next one. Bye.